Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the HVY Nightshark, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. This is the second most voted for vehicle this week, coming in with 96 votes. You can vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in Will It Off-Road by clicking on the link in the description down below. Vote as many times as you want. 96, you think that's high, wait till you see the next vehicle. So, the Nightshark. Very, very capable off-roader. It's in the off-roads class. It's really heavy. You would think that would work against it, but no, it doesn't, because it's also very fast. I suspect this thing has the engine out of a Shafter V12. It kind of makes the same noise, and it's quick. I mean, it just really is quick. It's not the fastest off-roader ever, but it is pretty damn quick. It has good acceleration. It handles really well. It's nice and planted, both on-road and off. As you can see, anytime it gets any sort of air, it just immediately wants to be back down on the ground. And so that makes it a lot easier over the bumps and the jumps. Almost got a hiker there. But it does make it a lot easier to control over all the different bumps and jumps, especially when you do get a lot of air. Real easy to control midair, really easy to land it nice and flat and get it back under control really quick. But because of all that, I don't have to be as careful on some of these bumpy sections, because I don't have to really worry about it bumping off the trail too far and going for a tumble down the mountain. So I really like the Nightshark. It's a great car. The machine guns in the front of it are kind of useless, honestly. They're fun for popping tires in traffic. So you can find that if your friends have bulletproof tires. Or if you just want to drive down the road taking out AI's tires and watching them spin out and crash into each other. Well, that's kind of fun too. But it does make a nice sound, you gotta admit. Yeah, it makes a really nice, deep, throaty growl when you get on the throttle. And of course, spits flames out of the exhaust just constantly. Of course, it's not doing it now that I mention it. There it goes. But, so this is a really quick run. I mean, it's just now hitting the 2-minute mark, and we're almost to the top already. This had the potential, I thought, to get in at sub 3 minutes. And we'll see here, because look at that. It's doing pretty good. It's climbing right on up the hill with absolutely no trouble here. Just pushing forward as if it's just out for a casual Sunday drive to take the family out for brunch or something. I don't know. It's just effortless on this mountain. So I'm going to make this little turn, climb up the rest of the way. Went a little too far to the left. That hurt me a little bit. But we are up 2 minutes, 37 seconds. Will it off-road? Yes. And of course, that makes it the third fastest off-road vehicle. Technically, the fourth fastest vehicle ever if we count the Buzzard. Because, well, that was the fastest, but it's a helicopter, so of course it got up and down the mountain real easy. Anyway, it only comes in just a few seconds short of the Desert Raid and the Trophy Truck. So, I mean, those are number 2 and number 1, respectively, so that's not bad. It's kind of impressive, considering what those vehicles are. Oh, double hiker takedown! Hell yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to yell. But still, I love it when I take down the hikers. It just makes me happy. They need to stay off my goddamn mountain. This is my mountain. Well, okay, I share it with the Vainglorious crew, but it's my mountain. It's our mountain, Vainglorious. It's ours. So, auto control descent, and it's, again, it's pretty uneventful. Because, as you can see, yeah, it went up on 2 wheels, but it came right back down. Normally, that little bit of air that we caught just a few seconds ago would have spelled doom. Because we had a cliff coming up, but nah, not with the Nightshark. It just got back on the ground. Look at that uneven section, no sweat. Coming up to our first little jump here, and watch. Flat. Bounced a little bit, but still nothing to really be worried about. It just goes. Which is why I like using it for off-roading. And hey, it has trailer hitch, so you know you can go steal somebody's boat from them. Nice jump there. I think I said what the flying fuck as the car was flying. How appropriate, AI. Sometimes they're quite clever. Slowed down a little bit too much there. I thought I had too much speed and overcorrected. But look at it. It's just in its natural element here. Just tearing this mountain up. Mount Chiliad doesn't stand a chance with the Nightshark. Already down to the last little trail. 2 wheels. So what? Still easy to steer. The little hidden dirt path here that's next to impossible to see. Coming around the tree of many crashes. Of course, the Nightshark escapes unscathed. We haven't had a good tree of many crashes crash in a long time. Mainly because I finally figured out the fucking tree's there and avoid it. Back onto asphalt. And again, it handles just as well here as it does in the dirt. So coming around these corners with quite a bit of speed. And we are down. 2 minutes, 26 seconds. So let's go back to the top of Mount Chiliad, shall we? And fling it off the side of the mountain and see exactly what type of damage this thing can withstand. I'm guessing right now, armored SUV, not really going to take a lot of damage. Look at it fly, though. Holy shit. Look at that. Just bouncing from rock to rock. Took a little bit of my health, but the truck is fine. Absolutely fine. Kind of wanting to get a little acid first there, but... And of course, I'm being a little too eager on the throttle to get back out of there, so I got myself restuck after getting unstuck. But look at that. It just bounces off the rocks like no big deal. It is an impressive machine. It really is. I like the Nightshark. I don't drive it often enough. It's one of those trucks that I kind of forget that I have it. This is beautiful. What boulder? I'll just drive over the boulder. But it's one of those cars I kind of forget that I have, so I don't get it out very often to drive it. I do wish that it offered a little bit more in the way of bullet resistance. Even if you get the highest armor plating. I'm not talking about like armor, the regular car armor. Or the armor plating you can add to it. Seems like you can get shot pretty easily in this car. But it is armored. Makes it really tough. Again, that took some of my health, but the truck is just continuing without a problem. Most vehicles this many crashes into that many really rock solid things would have at least the engine rattling by now, but not this. And check out this escape from the tunnel that's coming up here. This is going to be really impressive. Watch this. I mean, here it comes. I think that's the first time we jumped over the wood pile. But for our damage descent, we are down. 1 minute, 47 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage. And, well, there's not a lot to report. Some minor paint damage, and it's a little bit muddy. I guess there's some blood on it from hikers. But, you know, other than that, unscathed. Looks fine. Matter of fact, the scratches give it personality. But let's go on to our next vehicle. The Karin Technical Aqua. Now brace yourselves. There's a big number about to be read off here. This received the most votes, not only this week, but ever. By a long shot. With 3,079 votes that were all submitted in about an 18-minute period. So I think somebody was using a script. He denies it, but I don't know. That's a lot of votes. I mean, it was like literally 5 and 6 a second. And I'm not really sure if this is even the car he meant to vote for. Because a lot of times when we get vehicles that have just absurd number of votes, it's because somebody just wants to see me struggle going up the mountain. I mean, did you mean the Blazer Aqua? I don't know. But this is based on the Rusty Rebel, or just the regular Rebel. Oop, spun it out, hit a tree. So, of course, it's very capable off-road, because the Rebel does fine off-road. I mean, that's what it's meant to do, is go off-road. The only concern I had going into this were the ballast barrels that are hung off the side. I was a bit worried that those would get hung up on a lot of things, but as we've seen, I think that they're high enough up on the side of the truck that I don't have to worry about it. So far, it's been all right. Got our first hiker with the technical. Well done. Oh, he lived. He lived. Typical of what? Is that dude being racist of truck drivers? Truck drivers are a race, right? I think so. Pickup truck drivers, are you your own separate race? I don't know. Maybe not. But since it is based on the Rebel, it doesn't have any problems going up hills. It's just what it's made for. Of course, the Rebel also doesn't have a problem hitting the train head-on over a dozen times, which, yes, I've done. There's video proof of it somewhere. My buddy Rocket and I did it one night just over and over again, and then it never really blew up. The engine just died. It did have a little bit of a fire for a second, but it went out. Which kind of makes it like the unkillable Toyota that was featured in Top Gear. And of course, this very vehicle, minus the gun, is also inspired by Top Gear, if you've watched that show at all. You know, Jeremy Clarkson used a Toyota pickup truck and turned it into an amphibious vehicle. And he called it, as I've called mine, you can't see the front license plate, but it says Toyboda. And if you're wondering how you edit the license plate on any of the Rebel-based vehicles, you do it through the iFruit app. You can't do it inside of Los Santos Customs on its own. You have to do it through the iFruit app, and it'll let you edit there, so you can change it there. Oh, overshot a little bit there. Got a little too carried away. But we're already up. I thought this was going to be a sub 3-minute vehicle, but, you know, it's still doing all right, despite a couple errors that I committed, including one right here by steering off to the side. So, honestly, we probably could have made this right at 3 minutes. We spun out earlier and hit the tree there at the bottom of the mountain. I overshot that little bit there, and then I screwed up my approach here. So, yeah, probably could have shaved 15 seconds off this, but we're up 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Will it off-road? Yeah, of course. I mean, look at it. That's what it's made for, along with going in the ocean and murdering things. Fish. You use this to go fishing. You shoot the fishies with a gun. It's not meant to murder people. But we're now going to take it for our controlled descent. And again, the only concern is making sure I don't catch those barrels on anything to accidentally spin me around. Because it does have a weird hitbox on the side of this truck because of those sticking out. It's like the hitbox extends for like a rectangle. There, you can see it there. The barrel did, I don't think anyways. I've watched it a couple times. I don't think that the barrel actually hit that rock. But there's kind of a weird rectangle hitbox that starts at the top of those beams and just goes down. It's like they got a little bit lazy and didn't want to make a round hitbox for it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Just trying to keep my speed down because if you've ever taken any Rebel-based vehicle off-road, you do know that they can get a bit bouncy. While going up the mountain, that wasn't too much of a liability. Going back down, I don't want to overshoot any of my turns and wind up tumbling down the side of Mount Chiliad. So, just taking it a little bit slower maybe than I normally would. Maybe being a little too cautious. I was really hoping to have somebody in the back on the gun when I was recording this, but alas, there was no one on at the time, so I had to just go it solo. I thought the damage descent would have been hilarious, honestly, with somebody on the gun. I was going to nominate Rocket, but he was working that day, and I didn't want to wait till late in the evening to record, so this is what we got. Yeah, definitely taking it way too slow. I could have gone much faster down through this. But the controlled descent is more about, well, it's a controlled descent. If you're new to the series, by the way, you may be wondering, what is Will It Off-Road really about? Any car can make it up Mount Chiliad. Okay, first of all, no, that's not true. We have proven with this series, there are some vehicles that lack the power or lack the traction to be able to make it up even the first bit of the mountain. We know that to be true. But it's not so much about can they make it to the top of the mountain, but how quickly. 3 minutes is what I consider a good time. Will I call a 8-minute car capable of off-roading? Yes, but we do it on technicality. It got to the top. That type of thing, you know. But 3 minutes, anything under 3 minutes, I consider good. Very capable off-roader. Something I would recommend, hey, you could take this off-roading in GTA Online. Except for, of course, the Buzzard, because that was just because people wanted me to fly a helicopter to the top of the mountain. Somebody's now on a campaign to get one of the planes that came out with gun running. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. It's too wide. The wings won't fit. I've tried a plane. I tested it out, and it's just the wingspan's too wide. But with the technical Aqua, we are down 2 minutes, 50 seconds. So let's go back up to the top of Mount Chiliad and drive off the side, because that's what every person who's rational does. As I try to string together a sentence. Leave me alone. It's like nearly 6 a.m. when I'm recording this. I'm tired. Now, the question is, did I just wake up, or have I been up all night? Don't know. So, this is where the barrels are going to become a problem. And you can see, if you watch closely, what I was talking about earlier with the hitbox. Sometimes they don't really hit on the bottom, and yet they get caught on things. So, it's really weird what happens with them. Definitely a back-heavy vehicle, which, ow, ripped off a door. Which I wouldn't be surprised if this would be back-heavy. I mean, it's got a big gun back there. It's got an outboard engine back there. And, of course, that's way out past the rear wheels. And then, of course, it has those barrels. Oh, look at that. I thought the barrel was going to get stuck on the boulder. Instead, it was the front bumper. Barrel did hit, though. So, yeah, it's kind of slow going just because... Well, there's lots of little bits and pieces that can get caught on a lot of things. And I'm trying to steer clear of them, but yeah, the barrel got caught on that boulder, and then it got caught again, going through that narrow gap. But we're coming down in a pretty decent time. Never was going to make that. I don't know why I tried. Should have just slowed down. In the bumpy muddy bit, though, that is so hard to say. We're doing all right. Again, ooh, wow, those barrels got us. It's a rebel. At its heart, this is a rebel. They can call it a technical all they want to, but we all know it's just a rebel. Though, if you notice, it doesn't have the damage models of the rebel. Kind of weird. Parts fall off, but they don't dent. And spun out as we climb, so you know what? Let's just go up backwards. Again, I think another first. Straighten ourselves out, and for the damage descent, we are down as we almost hit an RV. 1 minute, basically 55 seconds. And let's take a look at the damage. Of course, that right door is missing, and it has some slight paint damage. Other than that, she's looking pretty damn good. And that's going to do it for this Will It Off-Road video. Don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in Will It Off-Road by clicking on the link in the description down below. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.